to South Africa now, which celebrated the New Year about 8 hours ago. South Africa, I believe is celebrated the New Year at midnight. It's 8:14 a.m. currently in South Africa. So Innocent Semosa, our correspondent, joins us now to share his own New Year with us. Good morning, Innocent. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Good, good morning. A very good morning to you, colleague, and our viewers around the world. It's good to be with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So it's your maiden appearance on the morning brief, and we're glad to have you. Now, give us the lowdown of how South Africa welcomed the New Year.
Yeah, it has been a lot of festivities. In fact, yesterday I was in church. As always, we celebrate in church, and then after celebrating, we then put out fireworks, and then afterwards we'll then go out to celebrate. But it has been a beautiful one, I must say. One that had a lot of celebrations, and a lot of people have been saying that they want to leave 2025 behind because it had a lot of, one would describe it as a year with many so much contrasts, because there is success stories and there are losses as well. But I can tell you now that one that stands out in the country is the fact that South Africa hosted the G20 meetings for the first time on the African soil, where South Africa hosts one of these big meetings. And they managed to basically garner more support with regards to the declaration that South Africa was calling for, the issues around pushing the agenda of the global south. So that has been one of the success stories. But also the downside of that is that there has been a lot of back and forth. The relationship between South Africa and the United States continues to deteriorate, but South Africa continues to say that they will engage with the United States because they believe that America is one of the strategic partners. But I can tell you now, colleague, that we had agreed to speak to some young people about their New Year resolutions and the things that they want to see happening in the country. In fact, I'm outside one of them as houses, but they couldn't because perhaps maybe they were indulging yesterday. I'm in the village, so they were indulging yesterday. They can't come out to basically be on camera at the moment. But some of the issues, before I bring it back to you, is the issues around unemployment. They say that they want government to put attention to unemployment, to make sure that people are now contributing to the economy of South Africa. So that has been the big talking point in South Africa. But I can tell you now that there's a lot of festivities, there's a lot of music everywhere. People are still excited.
Well, Innocent, I can tell you for sure that one of the biggest talking points, particularly between Nigeria and South Africa 2025, will definitely be sports, right? And it's still ongoing. The Africa Cup of Nations is on right now. South Africa got to go to the World Cup, or at least will go to the World Cup. Nigeria still has a very slim chance. You know what it is. But, speaking about things that also unite us, what were the high points for you? Again, I think sports is one of those talking points, and we've seen a lot of relationship between South Africa and Nigeria that are mutually beneficial.
Yeah, indeed, I'm glad that you brought that up because uh, uh, um, South Africa and Nigeria is more like big brothers. And because they're big economies, there's always that competition between South Africa and Nigeria. I can tell you now that, colleague, my heart is still painful from last year's AFCON. So South Africa needs to make sure, Bafana needs to make sure that we 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 go forward. But the relationship between South Africa and Nigeria is pretty much improving, if you ask me, because I work with a lot of Nigerians in Johannesburg here in South Africa, where we're seeing, cultural exchange, where there's South Africans who are getting married, in Nigeria and pretty much enjoying, the relationship. But the beautiful part is that the stigma of of the fact that they've been stigmatizing Nigerians, saying they're selling drugs, they are doing this and this and this. I think right now it's beginning to die down. People are becoming educated enough. They're now realizing that it's not, you can't paint everyone with the same brush. Yes, there are those people in pockets of those people in the community who are doing those things, but you can't pretty much paint everybody with the same brush. So there's that understanding now, and I'm glad that it's coming alive at the moment. But the relationship, I can tell you now that between Nigeria and South Africans, it's mostly about competition, and and where Nigeria beats South Africa is issues around entrepreneurship. You and I can agree on that, colleague.
Well, Innocent, it's New Year, and clearly our relationship goes all the way back. And I must tell you that amidst all of or behind some of those back and forth is genuine love, right? And I'm grateful that you've highlighted some of those improvements in the relations, some of those improvements in the optics and the way we see each other. So it looks like 2026 will be that year. I know we're getting the AFCON. We're glad to give you the second position or the third, depending if you want, but
No, I disagree.
You disagree, Innocent? So we'll meet on the pitch if we get to play together. But it's nothing but love. Always a pleasure to see you, Innocent, and the great work that you put out there. It's amazing to see. So thank you very much. Happy New Year to you once again, and to the whole of South Africa. Thank you, Innocent.
Thank you, colleague. Have a good one.